do is be with you. Oh, I just want to say that this was just like reading, or just like watching Crime Patrol or CID with a Misho budget. So I am back with a new video, and this video is again about a book review. Or the book I am reviewing today is from my favorite author, Mr. Chetan Bhagat. And you know what happens when India's most commercial, high selling author decides to write a story about unloving someone, with all the insults, indifferences, shame? We get, ladies and gentlemen, we get The Girl in Room Number 105 by Mr. Chetan Bhagat. And again, this is not a hate video about his writing styles. It is just a honest review on the story, the plot, and everything that's happening in between. So let's look about the plot and the setup of this story. The main guy, Keshav Rajpurohit, he is an IIT graduate, deeply miserable, teaching at a coaching center, utterly unable to move from his ex-girlfriend Zara Lone. Who is Zara? Zara is a Kashmiri Muslim girl currently pursuing her degree of PhD from IIT Delhi. They broke up because of family and religious barriers between them. However, suddenly everything changes, and after dead silence from months and months, Keshav finally gets a text from her on her birthday. Keshav gets a midnight text from her on her birthday, and she asked him to come to her hostel room number 105. And Keshav, thinking dramatic drunkard, thinking that this is a romantic reunion after the harsh breakup they had, thinks of actually sneaking in to her hostel room. And but the story takes a major plot point here, and it reverses the romantic reunion into a crime murder scene. He shockingly gets into the room, sees that it is a shocking crime scene, and tada, he is the major suspect of Zara Lone's murder case. Okay, so here I want to highlight a major thing. Chetan Bhagat's analytical views about this book is about an unloved story between a girl and a boy. But somehow, the first 3 chapters, the story explores a masterclass of toxic relation, equation, and merely just a drunkard doing type of shit this show in Bollywood movie. So, however, I really think that Keshav's behavior is not normal and not romantic at all. He sounds so desperate and lacking all the common sense a man should have, crossing boundaries, treating her like an obsession. It does not show a sign of great deep love. Okay, we have Keshav's father, who is typical patriarchal result outcome, you can say. He has a rigid stereotypical political Hindu man's image. Okay, he rejected Zara because of course she was a Muslim, and Zara representing the Kashmiri elites. So next, moving further in the story, we get that. However, okay, one thing I have to highlight about this book is there are lesser incidents where I praise Chetan Bhagat for what he does. But in this book, I want to say kudos to Bhagat for showing real injustice, the world, and the family orthodoxy. But because of the pacing of the story, these issue they feel like they are not important plot points and just very shallow points. No need to highlight them, but they can make this whole book the major plot. About the final and the major plot point that took place here, and that is Keshav and Saurabh is his friend from the coaching institute, becomes their own investigating officer and deeply delved into the Zara Lone murder case, because Keshav has to prove that he is innocent. What am I saying? So he has to prove that he is innocent, and for that he becomes his own investigator, going to Kashmir, Hyderabad to check the CCTV cameras, and he found that Faiz, who is an army officer, and he is likely and most probably the killer of Zara Lone, because they both, Zara and Faiz, had an affair, and somehow he felt threatened by Zara and he killed him. And then Keshav organizes a dinner party for after 100 days after her death, after the death of Zara. So he organizes this party, and in that he is committed to prove that Faiz is the real killer. But then the plot twist happens, and the final take happens in such a way that becomes shocking, deeply devastating to the story. So Keshav takes an immediate flight to Hyderabad to check the CCTV camera, and he has this brief observation of a man with a height, health, body structure of Raghu. And who is Raghu? Raghu is the one Zara got engaged with and will soon marry Raghu. And he is that obsessive, jealous, possessive type of man. And he briefly checked Zara's phone. Raghu briefly checked Zara's phone and revealed that he found text with Faiz, Zara and Faiz, but there was a big misunderstanding between them because Zara has ended Faiz and her relationship prior because she really loved Raghu a lot. Like a lot. So Raghu planned the whole murder of Zara Lowe. Keshav shows all the evidences about Raghu and how he manipulated Zara and how he was obsessive and, you know, psychopath. He killed her, and after that Inspector Rana, who was investigating everything, so he arrested Raghu, and finally Keshav got the closure he always wanted. So he goes to Zara's grave for one last time and then says a healthy goodbye after the obsessive indulgence of Keshav into her life again and again. So after that Keshav and Saurabh quit their unfulfilling coaching job and then did a full-time investigation. They opened a full-time investigation company of their own. So the plot, the book, everything ended here. And yes, it was a twist, no doubt in that. We as an audience and as a reader can never guess that it was Raghu. So the story has many points in it. There are good points, then there are bad. Professional police officers who have been trained their whole life to solve high profile every type of cases, and then there are losers from coaching institutes solving a high profile murder case with a goddamn Bollywood twist. How is this even possible? I just want to say that this was just like reading, or you know, just like watching Crime Patrol or CID with a Misho budget. Because what the hell was it? When I was reading it for the very first time, but then I was like, let's delve deeper, let's think about it more and more, and then I get to know that Keshav is so toxic. He is so toxic. Keshav, you're toxic. However, the investigation skills, hands on, good. The Delhi police, what you did? You did nothing. These boys from Chandan coaching classes just solved a high profile case. Here you go.